Well, I just want to say hello to everyone. I'm Pastor John Allen, and it's my privilege today to introduce you to Leslie Blum. Leslie is our new Interim Worship and Music Director and Minister that's going to be here at First Methodist Church Carrollton, and I wanted you to have the opportunity to hear from her. Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
How you doing?
Doing great.
Okay. You know, Leslie, I think that a great place for us to start and what our congregation and the friends of our congregation would like to hear is about your faith.
Well, I grew up in a strong Christian home. I like to say that I've known Jesus my whole life because I don't really remember before Jesus. But really my life story and my testimony is one of God's grace over and over, and my understanding of the gift of salvation, the free gift that I can't earn. And yeah, that's kind of the beginnings.
Yeah. Leslie, you've had a lot of experience leading worship in churches over the years, but what would you like the church to know about yourself as you come here?
Well, I grew up in Richardson. I have been a local for a long time. Married my husband, Matt. We have a dog named Bella, who is an adorable chocolate lab. And
I love labs, by the way.
She's the love of our lives, truly. We just enjoy her. And so, yeah, we live not too far from here, and Matt and I married in 2005. So I was a little bit older when I got married and waited a long time for the right one. So you will love getting to know Matt.
Tell me about your passion for worship and for music and how that drives you.
Well, I've always been involved in music, and I think my call became as I was invited by other people into spaces to help lead. My greatest desire is to create experiences for people so that they can meet with God and worship Him alone. Worship God is higher than we are, whose thoughts are higher than ours, but that they might get into contact and know a knowable God that we believe in. So my heart is that worship, we would get to do that together.
Yeah, you know, worship is kind of our time to practice together as the church, and to practice that unity and that receiving of the Holy Spirit, and the oneness that we feel in worship to God.
You know, I think worship is the context that God gave us. It's different from hearing a spoken word. It's different from other forms where we might experience God, like out in nature. Worship music is something God gave us. It's an awesome opportunity. I'm passionate about getting people involved in whatever their gifts are, and at whatever level. I think it's a way that we all need to use our gifts to worship God in different ways, but I love the ability to draw in people.
As you sit here, what kinds of things do you think are important for our congregation to know about you as a person?
I would say the first thing is that I really have worked out in my own life a very authentic relationship with God. I really think it's important that as a follower of Jesus that I am putting what I believe into practice, that I'm not just believing in a God out here, but that I am actively trying to pursue and listen for the voice of the Lord in my heart and in my life. And I think worship is a time where we can come together with all that we are, not leaving problems and things at the door to just worship God, but to bring everything that's going on in our lives to the forefront of our minds, that the Lord can minister to us. I've had a lot of healing in my life, and so I've worked in recovery ministries for people who are broken and for various reasons and situations. And I desire and can testify that God has healed things in me that I thought might not ever get healed. And so the power of the Holy Spirit in my life has proven to be evident time and time again.
Wow. That's a pretty cool testimony. Starting in a new church is not the easiest thing in the world. We sometimes make assumptions about people, particularly since we have a history of having long-term staff members. Mm-hmm. And so as you get started here, what can we do for you to help you in your ministry?
Well, the first thing is I'm very relational, so I want to know this church body. I have a shout out to Russ and Wendy Wise, who I have known me since I was about 3. We go way back through my father's work in ministry. But beyond that couple that I know, my desire is to get to know the people that make up this congregation, the body, the community here. So the first thing I would say is just introduce yourself to me. I want to know who you are. And if you have musical gifts that you want to bring, I would love to have that conversation with you. If you want to be involved in some way, this is a new season for this church and a worship leader. And so new conversations can be had, and I hope that we get to do that.
Just out of curiosity, I know this is kind of change in direction and pace, but what's your favorite worship song?
Right now, I really love a song called Believe For It. And my favorite recording is CeCe Winans. There is so much just power in believing God for the things that are ahead, and having hope that our dreams and desires and just how we live our lives will be something that we can trust God for, that God is trustworthy, and that we can believe for things in our lives. That I just love the word in that song.
I was going to ask you if there's anything that you could share with us that nobody else knows.
Nobody else.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh gosh.
Only God.
That's like second to your biggest sin. You share with all of us your biggest.
Maybe the same question. Just
it might be.
What's the one thing only God knows?
Leslie, this is a transition in our church, but I feel so fortunate that we found you, and I'm excited about your ministry at our church, and I look forward to hearing you and being in worship and being led by you in worship.
Thank you. I am really excited to be here.